Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm gonna go ahead and share my thoughts with you on The Sleeper and the Spindle. So I went to my laptop and I have been wanting to clear some space off of it. When I did that, I actually found an old review that I had done a long time ago in like 2014. So I hadn't really been writing or sharing my thoughts on Goodreads yet, so I had just written it down there. And when I looked at it, I was like, I don't really remember this book at all. I saw that the audiobook was an hour long, and I realized, after looking through some documents and things like that, that I just found the audiobook. And this was around the time when I was experimenting with audiobooks to see if I would even like to use them as a form of reading. And I decided to give The Sleeper and the Spindle a shot. But other than that, I didn't really think any more of it, apparently, than just writing that review. So I decided, since I'm actually in the middle of two readathons this weekend and one that's a month long, I decided to go ahead and give The Sleeper and the Spindle a reread, I guess, or re-listen. I'm not entirely sure if it counts as a reread if you don't remember listening to it / reading the first time. So yeah, I didn't have a physical copy with me the first time I read it. I just had the audiobook listening experience. So this time I went ahead and I had a ebook with me that I was able to get from my local library. So my first thoughts from the first review basically summed up was that the audiobook was really good, very well done. It's done by a multi-casted bunch of people, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was one of the few times where I had come across multi-narration. So if you are looking for a book, an audiobook to fulfill that prompt for any future readathons, or just something you want to experiment with, I would definitely go ahead and suggest The Sleeper and the Spindle one, because I really enjoyed it and it's an hour long. So can't go wrong with that. The story didn't impress me though at all. I don't think I actually really cared for it. During that time, I do remember in 2014, younger me wanted a little bit more action, a bit more fast-paced, you know? So I think I was probably a little bored with it, if I'm honest. But coming as an older reader, more established reader, I am a bit more okay with slower paced books and, you know, not necessarily like a lot of action, just setting the stepping stones of like what's to come, so to speak. So with this reread, I think I did enjoy it a little bit more than I did the first time. That being said, I still gotta go with past Rachel and giving it a 3.5 star. Nothing against Neil Gaiman. The books that I have read by him, admittingly, haven't been that many, but the books I have written that have been written by him that I've read, I have really enjoyed. But this one just kind of left me a little like, that's it? That's the ending? Like, nothing else happens? I don't know. It just was a little lacking for me. The pacing of it was fine. I did kind of enjoy the friendship with the dwarves and basically the Snow White character. I'm just going to call her Snow White. That's just what I'm going to call her, because she had so many references to that. But if I'm honest, I don't necessarily know if I liked the kind of open-endedness of what happens with Aurora. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, you know, the Sleeper and the Spindle, it's basically like a retelling of a few fairy tales all wrapped into one. basically Snow White and Sleeping Beauty mixed all together. Only if Snow White was a bit more of a kind of warrior queen, and Sleeping Beauty, you know, kind of had like a different version of the curse, you know? The part that I did enjoy was that there was like a lot of strong female characters in this. Like the old woman, you could tell she had been by herself for a long time. She knew what to do. She could handle herself. I enjoyed that. The Snow White character, also enjoyed it. She seemed like a really good queen. People loved her, were excited for her, for whatever she did, and also she has the loyalty of the dwarves. The dwarves were basically there. They were just there. They didn't really do anything else other than just love their queen slash Snow White. I mean, that was really it. But I don't know. It just didn't really feel like much had happened. You know, I would have probably been okay if it would have been a longer book and like things had been a little bit more fleshed out. It still probably would have been like a short novella, but I don't know, the way that it was just okay. So 3.5. I'm glad that I finally got to read it. I do recommend, if you are going to go ahead and give this a shot, get the audiobook and get a ebook or physical book of some kind, because I feel like that's the best way to enjoy it. You'll get the multi-narrated cast, and then you'll also be able to get the pictures, the illustrations that were done in this book. They're very nice to look at, and you can just read along. It's really a nice way to spend an afternoon, and I would definitely go ahead and use it for any prompts that are for like fairy tale retelling, a graphic novel, or not fully textbook. Multi-narration, definitely would use it for that. And also anything that kind of has to do with like witchy, enchantress kind of vibes, or curses. Definitely give it a go for those reasons. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know your thoughts if you have actually read The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman. Did you have a good experience with it? Do you think you'll pass on the book? Or do you think I read it the wrong way even? Like, do you think I should have done a different style of reading? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Bye.